Hello, it's Andrea here. It's lovely to be here. It is Wednesday. I don't know, is it morning? Is it afternoon? 12 noon in the UK. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're listening. Welcome. It's so lovely to be here. It feels like my Wednesday morning treat. So welcome if you're here live, or if you're listening in later on. It's so lovely to have you here. Thank you for joining me. So I've just been out for a walk in the sunshine. It's cold, but it's sunny, so it just felt so good to have that vitamin D just on my face, in my body. So I do hope that you're finding some time throughout the day to get some of those beautiful vitamins. Which brings me nicely into what I wanted to share today was using some techniques, and it will be mostly EFT or tapping, to help us to acknowledge our feelings of worry. Some might say there's a lot to worry about at the moment, and as someone who has spent a lot of her time worrying, I just think it's a really important topic to kind of deal with, and to give you some resources that have worked for me that might help you as well in your daily life and with others. It was fascinating. I was thinking about what I was going to talk about today and last night, and I remembered the beautiful book by Mark Woolen called It Didn't Start With You. And so I just flipped through the book this morning, and it's incredible because when your grandmother, I'm just reading this out, when your grandmother was 5 months pregnant with your mother, the precursor cell of the egg you developed from was already present in your mother's ovaries. So my grandmother was pregnant, 5 months pregnant with my mum, and the egg from which I would be born was already in my mum. So the reason I wanted to share that was because for me, in terms of the work that I've done and the kind of the energetic, following the energy, which is what we do in the energy world, in terms of kind of retracing the origins of worry. For me, my grandmother was pregnant with my mum before the war. World War II. So I think there might be a little bit of worrying going on there. So this is just to give you a little insight that if you feel that you're a worrier, that you've always been a worrier, maybe, just maybe, it didn't start with you. And I don't mean that to kind of cause you to worry more, because for me, it's just they didn't have the resources that we have now. They were facing very tough times. They didn't have the resources. You just put your head down and just got through it, and you bottled your emotions in. And so now we have the resources to help ourselves. And for me, when I clear the energy for myself, I know that through the ripple effect, I'm clearing the energy through the ancestral lines, and I'm clearing the energy for the lines to come, because we do have resources now that they didn't have at the time. So just wanted to just throw that in, just to kind of give you a sense of that energy. And so I'm just breathing that out, just that knowledge. Maybe it's not all just me, and maybe there is something that I can do. And so the other thing that I wanted to kind of mention was worry is almost seen as normal. It's like stress is seen as normal. It's like, but when does worry, which is quite normal, everybody worries, particularly mums, particularly parents, you worry about your loved ones. It's normal. It comes with a package. But then think of the word anxiety. And I'm not an expert in terms of the definitions of the words and whatever else. But for me, anxiety is an accumulation of the worry. And it's when you talk about anxiety, many people would say, I suffer from anxiety. And yet worry well, that's fine. So when does worry become acceptable, and when does worry turn into anxiety, which we know can be extremely overwhelming? And so for me, emotions, of course we feel them. And for me, number one priority is to acknowledge how we're feeling. But let's not allow them to become the norm. Let's explore ways to help ourselves to move through these emotions. I always talk about let's move through these emotions. Let's feel them, allow them to move through us so that the energy, in terms of our energy body, can flow again. Because we know that when we're stuck in those emotions, our energy flow is literally interrupted. So it's about moving through, acknowledging, moving through, and moving on. So I just wanted to share that with you, and I hope that that kind of helps, and I hope that kind of I've made that clear enough in terms of explaining that. And so, as I've shared, I've done a lot of energy work, the deep stuff, the origins, helping to clear the ancestral lines, but I've also done the daily work, and particularly in these times, self-care and looking after ourselves. And I'm tapping, by the way, as I'm talking, which is a really just nice thing to do. I do that while I'm walking. I do that if I'm on the phone to somebody and they're feeling worried or stressed about something. It's a great way of clearing your energy while you're talking or while you're talking to somebody else. So I've kind of skipped ahead into, well, number one tip, if you might be on the phone to somebody and they're feeling worried about their health, or you're feeling worried about them, if you're on hands-free, of course, FaceTiming or whatever, you can be tapping while they're talking. Okay. So I'm just going to invite you to tune into any worries that you have at the moment, any worries about yourself, about loved ones, about the world. Let's just really allow ourselves to feel what's coming up. Because for me, it's all about expressing the emotion, feeling it, and transforming it. Talking is great, but for me, if you're talking to somebody, again, I'm going to use my mum. My dad would come home from work and he would talk to my mum about his day, and she would take that on. Bless her. She was the most incredible, resilient woman. But she also took a lot of energy on. She was bless her, she was just an emotional sponge, which we can be. And so think about it, if your child is worried about something, they tell you about it, and then they're off, they're great, they're feeling so much better. But you're potentially then, worrying about the worst case scenario. They've completely forgotten about it. So let's just use tapping to acknowledge our worries so we can transform them. So as always, just taking responsibility for your well-being. This isn't a one-to-one session. So we try and kind of keep it to surface stuff on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being the most intense. Try and make it like something that's a 5 or a 6. So even though I'm feeling this worry in my body, and just think about, who you might be worrying about. I talked a little bit about that energetic connection that we have with our loved ones. So let's just release the energy for us so that we can create a new vibration that connects us with our loved ones. And think about where you're feeling that worry in your body. Maybe it's in your stomach, maybe it's in your shoulders, maybe it's in your head, many thoughts going around in your head. The what if scenarios, Even though I'm feeling this worry in my body, I'm choosing to love and accept myself anyway. Even though I wish I didn't worry, but it's just part of who I am. I'm choosing to love and accept myself anyway. And I'm just using some of the words that are coming to me. Please make this your own. Make it personal to you. Even though I'm feeling this worry about my loved one. And I wish I could go and check on them, that they're okay. Maybe part of the worry is that I'm helpless. I'm feeling helpless, that I can't support them in the way I'd like to. I'm choosing to love and accept myself anyway, and I'm choosing to feel loved while I acknowledge this painful worry in my body. So my heart is aching. I'm sure many people can resonate with that. What's coming up for you? Where are you feeling that worry in your body? Just allow yourself to feel. Allow any words to come into your head. I'm worried about my kids not getting an education or the education that they need. I'm worried about my loved ones that I can't see. I'm worried about the world and what's going on right now. As many people say, sometimes I wish I could just hop into a spaceship and and just skip the next few years. I'm choosing to love and accept myself through this and through these times. Just adding a little bit of humor. All this worry in my body. It's normal to worry, right? It's just what a parent does. It shows I love them. These are just words that are coming up. Like, you could resonate with them, maybe you don't. Use your own. All this worry in my body. This ache in my heart. This responsibility in my shoulders. This helplessness in my body. I wish there was more I could do. This worry in my body. I'm just putting your hand on your heart. I'm just going to invite you just to close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. Obviously, if you have a heart monitor, maybe heart breathing isn't the right thing for you to do. You could breathe through your stomach. Just breathe through your heart and just bring some of that heart energy to your worry, to your feelings of worry. Breathing in and out through your heart. Maybe allow yourself to connect to the heart consciousness. And then tune into your body. Where are you feeling? How are you feeling? Are you still feeling any worry? Has another layer showed up? You know, I often talk about layers of emotions. So I'm just going to say, even though I still feel a little bit of worry, or a lot of worry, that's okay. Even though I'm still feeling worried about my loved ones, that's okay. Even though I'm feeling this worry in my body, this ache in my heart, this pain in my shoulders, all these what ifs going around in my head. I'm choosing to feel loved, and I'm choosing to accept how I feel and where I'm at, knowing that I am doing the best that I can with the resources that I have, and with the knowledge that I have. This remaining emotion in my body. I wonder. I've started to use I wonder quite early on in my practice. Just felt like a nice way of inviting some creativity, some creative solution into the mix. Instead of our mind chatter. This worry in my body. I wonder if I had all the resources that I need at my disposal. I wonder how I could transform this worry. I wonder if this worried part of me I wonder if she could see things differently. I wonder what this worried part of me needs. I wonder if I could change this worry to a different feeling, how that would help me feel and how that would change the energy, the connection that I have with my loved one. I wonder if I could transform the energy of this worry. I wonder what the next step would be from worry towards hope. I wonder if I could hope that they'll be okay. What's coming up for you? I wonder if I could hope they'll be okay. I wonder if I could hope that we'll get through this somehow. I wonder if I could call on miracles to come to this planet. I wonder if I could imagine myself feeling showered with love and miracles, being open to the idea that we're okay. I wonder if I could send them some love. I wonder if I could receive some love. So I talked about changing our vibration to one of love. But what if we could fill ourselves up with love first, so that we can come from that fuller cup, so that we can send them love from that place of fullness. So I wonder if you could put your hand on your heart, just inviting you to do this if it feels right. And we're also going to use the gamut point, 9 gamut point, which is just in here, in between your little finger and your ring finger. And just imagine rubbing it while you've got your hand on your heart. Just imagine yourself filling up with love. And I always talk about the crown of your head, but you can connect to the love consciousness, whatever feels right for you. Just feel yourself filling up. Imagine what that color of love would be. Coming in through the crown of your head, into your neural pathways, filling them with love, transforming the worry to love, just receiving. You don't need to question or analyze, just receive. That color, a music, maybe a song that reminds you of the power of love. And taking that through your brain cells into your third eye, opening your third eye, imagining that your third eye is opening to receive the wisdom of love. Still breathing through your heart, still rubbing that gamut point. Receiving that love through into your ears. I always talk about hearing with the ears of love. Feeling that love pour into your throat. Feeling heard, acknowledged, as you listen and acknowledge your loved ones from that place of fullness. Smoothing your shoulders with that beautiful love vibration, feeling it. You've got this. You are doing an amazing job in these times. You are so loved. I'm just going to invite you to open your lungs. We need to do this particularly in these times. Opening your lungs to receive love, to receive the joy of life. Feeling your heart open to receive, filling up with love. Going down into your stomach, the center of your power, center of who you are. Feeling the love going into your lower stomach, into your creative center, into your roots, down your legs. Just sending that vibration out to someone that you love. From that place of connection, I just wanted to read something out from a book that I'll mention to you in a moment. What do I do in these moments of, let's say, worry? How do I help them and me? First, I open my heart and allow myself to fully feel the impact of what I am feeling, no matter how uncomfortable it feels. Next, I close my eyes and visualize the people or person. Imagine holding them in an enormous embrace of the most tender, compassionate love. And I would invite you to feel that embrace from the love consciousness as well. Imagine yourself wrapped up in that love as you wrap others in your embrace. I whisper, I love you over and over again. I pour as much caring and comforting energy into them as I can, envisioning it like golden light penetrating deep into their being. I ask for blessings that they may be comforted, that they may be guided to peace and merciful healing, that they be wrapped in divine love and showered with grace. So imagine that beautiful embrace. Imagine yourself feeling embraced and held. Because only from that place of fullness can we truly pour love out to anyone that we're concerned over. So just feeling that in your heart, bringing yourself back to your heart space. And feeling what that feels like now compared to how you were feeling before. You could use the scale of 0 to 10, and 10 of 10 being the most intense, and how you were feeling before and how you're feeling now. My aim is always to go towards the pluses. So just knowing that you can come back to this, you can forward, you can listen to this again. You can get in touch with me personally if I can support you. I am here as part of my journey to empower beautiful souls who are on a similar journey to the one that I have been on, to share some of the practices that have worked for me. I regularly take beautiful trips into the quantum field in a wonderful group to acknowledge how we're feeling and to change the vibration for ourselves and for the planet. And I am truly humbled to do personal, very deep one-to-one work with incredible souls who are willing to do that deep shadow work. So whatever part of the journey that you're on, whether you are experiencing a really intense wake-up call or whether you're feeling any kind of emotions during these times that you're ready to transform, I send so much love to you. By changing your energy, you really are changing the energy of those who have gone before and of the future generations. And by changing this vibration for ourselves, we can guide and support those who are going to change the world in ways that I know that isn't possible necessarily for me in this lifetime. So another part of my journey is by changing my vibration and by being a guide for others, then I can support them in feeling loved, in feeling empowered, and support them in doing their work. I have 2 beautiful sons who are teenage boys. I know they are going to be incredible change makers, and so that is part of the reason why I'm doing this work, is so that I can be a better support and guide for them. I'm getting tearful, but that's just me, that I can be a better guide for them as well, because I know that they have incredible work to do, whatever that is. So I am sending so much love to you. Thank you so much for watching, for supporting me and continuing to do these. I do hope that you have gained some benefit from this. I wish you a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. I send so much love to you, and I invite you to keep replenishing yourself with that love from the universe. And so the 2 books that I mentioned, if they're something that you would like to explore, and I will post these, is It Didn't Start With You with Mark Woolen. Incredible if you're interested in generational healing. He also has his own process within there as well. And this is Barbara DeAngelis. She's been around for a long time. She's really one of the original incredible authors and light worker. The Choice for Love. I've read this a couple of times. I have so many post-it notes in here. And I listened to it during what I didn't realise would be my last journey to see my mum. And so it is a very... it's a really personal book for me, and I think I'll be reading again. I dipped into it a little bit today. I used one of her mantras, and adapted a little bit for today. But I think I'll be delving into this again. It truly is a beautiful book, even just the colour, and Sending so much love to you. Thank you for watching. Please share this with anybody, and teach people how to tap. It's easy, you can see how easy it is. Use your words, make it personal to you. Just wanted to throw in the tapping solution is doing its annual conference soon. I will post some details. I think it's in the next week or two even, it's starting. It's how I started to get into EFT. They do tend to use scripts, which I used to start off with. But I have perfectionist tendencies, and I started to end up having to feel that I had to use all of the words that were prescribed for it to work properly. Now I use very intuitive language. I use my own language, and I find it more effective for me. But give it a try. It's a beautiful way of learning about EFT or tapping. So I send lots of love. I'm going to stop talking, and I shall leave you to enjoy the rest of your day or evening. Lots of love. Take care. Bye.